Now, let's bring in the truly important player with the truly important inquiry list. That's being Oversight Chairman, our friend James Comer of Kentucky. Mr. Comer, as always, Chairman Comer, we appreciate your time. You've always been very, very kind to this show, and we are grateful for it. I don't know if you heard my little list, but I kind of walked through as many things as I can walk through. And I just want to say, I'm reading a very good story in the Washington Times this morning. You probably saw it, that you're going to start quickly now as the head of this impeachment inquiry, and you're going to be going after more and more bank accounts. This was one of your original triumphs to unlock that. Can you tell us more about the bank accounts, who's going to block you on this, and what authority you have or may not have, sir?
Well, I think we've laid out the case, Larry. Everything you said was 100% accurate. Almost every fact that you stated wasn't known prior to us launching this investigation in January. All of those facts were learned through our investigation on the House Oversight Committee. Now, this week, Speaker McCarthy granted us impeachment inquiry, and this is a very important tool in the toolbox. This will help us when we go to court to get some of these bank records. This will help the judge it was forced the judge to have to rule quicker. It also trumps executive privilege if the Bidens tried to say that anything that we were trying to get, they couldn't have because of executive privilege. And it also allows us to get things like grand jury testimony. There's a precedence where when Jerry Nadler was leading the impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump, they were requesting information and they said they couldn't hand it over because of it was grand jury testimony, and the judge ruled because of the impeachment inquiry, then Nadler could then have it. So this is a tool that we needed to move forward. We're going next after two things. First of all, the bank accounts of Hunter Biden and Jim Biden, because we believe, as you've seen the arrows where we show from countries like China, Romania, Russia, Ukraine, there's arrows through these shell companies. Then they end up in 9 different Biden personal bank accounts. We want to look at the personal bank accounts to see if there are any arrows beyond that to pay for things of value for Joe Biden. Then the other thing we want to use impeachment inquiry is to force these agencies to turn over correspondence. We've requested all the emails that were in the pseudonyms, and there are 5,400 of those. We know one of which pertained to Ukrainian policy, and Hunter Biden was copied on it. So these are things that we need, and I believe with this new impeachment inquiry designation, we'll be able to get them much quicker.
So I just want to clarify this point, because some people were disputing it yesterday. The declaration of an impeachment inquiry does, in fact, give you enhanced subpoena and other powers. Is that correct, sir?
That is 100% correct, yes.
I don't know why they're bringing up memorandas that were written a few years ago, and I don't know what your response to all that is, but you're just saying, no, 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 we're going to have this new authority. And the other thing I want to ask you is, do you need to bring let's take the Biden family, okay? 9 members of the family, Hunter, his father's brother, and all these others. One of them's a grandchild, for heaven's sake. In order to get their bank accounts or financial records, Chairman Comer, do you need to subpoena them to appear before the committee under oath? How's that going to work?
We believe we can just subpoena the bank records. I've subpoenaed banks for that, so it's unclear who the direct subpoena would be with. We're still evaluating that, but more than likely it'll be to the bank for the bank records. We anticipate Abby Lowell and the big expensive legal team that the Bidens have that no one's ever said who's paying for their very expensive legal fees will fight us in court. And what their original strategy would have been would be to tie it up in court forever and run the clock out. But with this new impeachment inquiry designation, it's going to force the judge to have to move much quicker than a normal, ordinary case.
I remember you uncovered the suspicious bank accounts in the Treasury Department. I mean, that was in some sense, you know, the first major breakthrough. But are you going to do more of that? And, Chairman, I want to ask you, you know, in conjunction with the suspicious bank accounts, a lot of the banks, private commercial banks, they themselves have filed suspicious accounts. And I just wonder, are they helping you? Are they obstructing you? It sounds to me like they'd be happy to unburden themselves and show all this stuff to you.
The banks have been very helpful with the shell companies. Now we're getting into the personal Biden bank accounts. And we suspect that the lawyers have already warned the banks against handing anything over to us. But we're going to give the banks another chance, and we'll see. So I'm withholding judgment on the banks, but thus far, all the banks have been very cooperative, and thus far, 100% of the banks have turned over, after they were subpoenaed, all the information that we requested.
Is it necessary, and/or do you plan to call Hunter Biden, to subpoena Hunter Biden, to subpoena James Biden, or to subpoena other family members? But I think everybody's interested in whether you're going to subpoena Hunter Biden, who, as you know, got busted today, got indicted today on 3 counts of gun felonies. I don't know if you have a thought on that, too.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're getting a lot of questions because there's a couple of members of Congress that are criticizing us for not subpoenaing Hunter Biden yet. I want to look at his bank records. That's what we said this investigation was about. We're going to follow the money. Once we get his personal bank records, then I'd like to ask Hunter Biden questions about various transactions. So without the bank records, I don't know Hunter Biden personally, but from all the investigations I've done thus far of him, and from looking at his laptop, I wouldn't believe a darn thing he said. So we want to have the evidence in front of us in the form of the bank statement. So the bank statements are the next step, and then we'll follow the money. And if it leads us to Hunter Biden, then we'll subpoena Hunter Biden. Well,
again, I'm not a lawyer, but I think follow the money is the absolute right strategy. Following the money doesn't lie, okay? Following the money is hard-ass evidence is what that is.
That's right.
And you've been on that from day one, and I think that's been the success. And if you stay on that, I think it's going to be fabulous. Now, the other question is, you and Jim Jordan, I think, you went to speak to the Senate Republican Conference. And again, in the Washington Times piece, my friend Kevin Cramer, Senator Cramer, said you actually had great support. There were no dissent. People were offering positive suggestions. So it sounds to me like the Republican Party is a united party behind this impeachment inquiry that you are leading.
100%. You know, the media is trying to create a narrative that there's opposition, that there are doubters. I haven't had anyone come up to me and express doubt about the need for impeachment inquiry. And we presented to all the Republican senators yesterday. We probably took questions from at least 20 senators. Not a single senator who spoke said anything negative, and they were all very positive, very encouraging. They had good questions, but they encouraged us to continue down the path we are, to be mature, to be fair, to be accurate, to produce evidence, to be transparent. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Yep. Yes, sir. Follow the money. I just think you're dead on right. Chairman James Comer, thank you for your time, sir. I know you're busy. We appreciate it very, very much here.